Yeah, I know.
I mean, he is hosting us all
we don't get
tonight, right?
opportunities.
No, not me, dude.
And,
That's why I was trying to get all my boys, because everybody, like, they got it mistaken with the 11th. Sorry. Like, oh, someone else is saying that for to go. Okay.
anybody that wants to Yeah, this is just there's different groups here, and there's another party going on simultaneously down at Riverside Park where we're going to march up. We got the whole at about 5 o'clock we shut down, and then we're going to about 2 unveil this 25-foot flag. We're all going to get around it, and we're marching all the way down the street.
The best they do is just to roll downtown.
Stopping, doing it all the way down to the riverfront, and they got a musician down. They got a musician down there. As they see us coming in, they're going to start singing the Star Spangled Banner over the intercom and the sound system. That's the plan. That's the alternative plan. Originally, Bruce Council, and this is all there is. We might want to. We might unroll it there and then march down.
Right, yeah, start there.
I told all y'all, I'm gonna put on my boogaloo outfit.
You better.
And we're gonna walk to the butter stacks.
That's your clout right there. You better rock out. Save the internet fucking explode.
But I really do want to take this thing.
They're coming in loud for
We got enough. We just walk through there just like flies for us, dude.
We've been doing it.
Guys.
We've been doing it all day. We're all marching.
They're like,
There's one of the bikers. All right.
There's some weenies in there too. And they're not the cheap ones. Real meat hot dog.
I was like, is this the opposition? Like, really? I was like,
Sorry, man. We fucked up like we did. Yeah, we did everything we could to draw them.
I mean, we showed up. We
We're
took up time. 4 hours again.
Probably won't know the phone, but I'll check it periodically, okay, honey? And you have those numbers Dad gave you? All right.
More about that.
Okay, yeah. All right, honey, I love you. Is everything going good?
Originally, we were going to have cowboys on the step.
Are you okay?
And at 8:01, before we could get our permits, Brown or the inside the Capitol signed off Black Lives Matter. Fuck this. So we made a backup plan.
Take the park right.
You know, they denied ours, and so we said we'll take the park. And that's our backup. And then they gave us the But if we don't get them, then we're going to do it anyway because it's a public park. Regardless, we're having a party.
A lot of guys like
We're celebrating our independence.
everything. Right? There's a huge
I have some sticker off prints of
They have people on both sides of the bridge.
Take a look if you guys are looking for makeup.
Right? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I got a big old packet. Last time they all came out, Tiny came out, yeah.
Hey, thank you for coming down from Seattle.
Oh, of course, man. No, it's my pleasure.
All right.
They want to get out for a while.
Yeah.
I told Haley's retarded behind to stay down here.
Like there's Elks Club, you know.
We're gonna liberate Chaz, like liberate Seattle, like
It's already got. Oh yeah, I got a couple of these ones too. I'll take more. Yeah, we like putting
Plus, it's like
anybody who asks, like, oh, we're from here, we're from there. We're like, here, take some of these, take some of these. You know, like, these are the guys who contact.
I like it how they go down MLK and crash it. Like, oh shit, do it.
I mean, it's a
I don't like that.
that brought us together. It's a trap.
I'm sure you would love it. You know what got me upset was United States
when time stood still, right?
Franklin.
I was so mad.
He represents all of North and Northeast Park.
It was really cool.
And he was on with Kate Brown and Joanne, the Creek people,
trial and at the sentencing,
and they were talking about how they were going to
so many Proud Boys there in color.
National Guard in. All they were going to do is hand out, coming through, all they were going to do is hand out some water bottles, right?
In the whole
And the whole entire time it was a Trump bashing. The whole time it was just Trump bashing. mean, they started out taking turns bashing Trump, and then they started talking about how great they were, what they were doing for the city, and it was just unbelievable. And that Lou Franklin guy, runs totally no one's running against him. He's a United States senator, not one person running against him.
Change. Let's burn things.
No Republicans running against him, and no Democrats.
Everybody named it suicide anyway, so.
And then he starts talking about himself when it was his turn to talk. First thing he says is that he has had a gun held on him by a cop. He has all these terrible things that have happened to him. And then and he said that he goes, I marched with Martin Luther King. And he's like, I'm not sure what city that was. And I mean, how do you march with
Martin Luther King and not remember what city
Yeah,
it was.
and then he says, I think it was, in Georgia or something. And how do
Literally,
you
he
march?
saw him speak one time.
How is it you're marching with MLK and can't remember? I don't know.
Well, it's because it's a lie.
Yeah.
He's not the first black baby boomer to be like, oh, I was a part of the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Like, no, you were sitting your ass home.
So please vote for me again.
Dude, I like how you have it on the movie.
I have really. I mean, look what he's done to the economy. Yeah, it just bothers me. I mean, they got him on the whole time, the whole entire conference. They were talking about, the National Guard, the virus and everything. And it was every single one of them started out with bashing Trump. Started out with her because she had just gotten a phone call from Trump saying to bring in the National Guard. And Trump bad, I'm good, stay home, unless you protest.
So is Brown going to bring in the National Guard?
No, she announced that she was bringing them in just that one weekend.
Yeah.
And but she said it was in a backup role to assist with processing or whatever. But during her news conference, she was with Joanne Hardesty and Lou Franklin. They were the two, and they totally set up. You could see, and I looked into suing them, but I couldn't because they were masterful. She says that she was called by her people to come out into the street. And she saw the rioting. She was with them. What she was doing was participating in the riot.
Right.
And she was talking them up. So she admitted that she did that. And then she stated that she saw white nationalists and white supremacists come into the crowd, cause a problem, stir things up, and then leave. So she said that. And then masterfully, when it was Lou Franklin's turn to talk, he said, first thing he said is, those Proud Boys are worse than the criminals.
Huh?
Yeah, that was the first thing he said in that public announcement it was on a Monday, that you could probably Google Kate Brown announces National Guard and watch the whole interview. You won't believe it. So the whole thing's choreographed. The whole entire thing was choreographed. She says white nationalists, he says Proud Boys. So they don't put them together where they're held liable, one person held liable.
Yeah.
And, that's just how they do it.
Manufacturer consensus.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they say it enough times, and it just gets repeated.
Yesterday in Northeast Portland, Antifa torched 2 cars.
Yeah. And on their chats now, on their private chats, they're talking about how they're going to start switching to all day rallies because they have normal people who don't know what they're about driving by honking saying yay, and they're liking this attention from people during the day commuting.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder for the police to do anything because it's not just them in a mob rule thing. They're amongst people going to work, coming from work, and traffic and all that.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of Portland police right now that are getting injured from these protests.
I have a relative who was in the North Precinct when they lit it on fire.
Yeah. There's a lot of officers getting hurt.
They were told to go into that precinct, and then they were busting in the doors with dumpsters and lighting them on fire. I mean, it's insane. It's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they want to tear down all the police stations. And then when you have mayors turn over police stations, it just
makes it all that
them.
worse.
I mean, they're like, well, we got one, we'll get them all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Yes, they've been doing a lot of damage.
This is what they really want. They want to discredit all of our founding fathers. Why? Because they signed the Declaration of Independence and they wrote the Constitution.
Yeah.
So once they discredit all of the founding fathers, then they discredit their body of work, which is the Constitution.
Yeah.
And that's what they really want to do.
That's why they keep playing up, like, you know, who was a slave owner, who wasn't a slave owner.
They want to discredit them.
Right.
And then if their name is on that Constitution, that Constitution becomes discredited. So it's just their platform that they want to do, you know.
And that's really sad because, you know, we've had soldiers all the way through history die for that Constitution.
Well, my family migrated here before the Civil War, and they were my forefathers that came to Oregon came here as orphans on wagon trains, where other families, other families would take you. So the Tews immigrants who came here fought in the Civil War and died. And their wives died, and their children, who was my great-great-grandfather, came here in the 1850s, well, 40s, before it was a state. And they were just children on wagon trains who basically ended up working for farmers. I mean, you went, if a family would take you, you went and lived with them and worked. I mean, there was no other choice.
Right.
Indentured servant.
Yeah, that's where my forefathers were. And they're three brothers. They all ended up taking wagon trains here to Oregon. And in the 1860s, the Statesman Journal actually wrote a story about them because they were